May 14th, 2026 meeting of the Culver Town Council. I'd like to read something that I think everyone will have an understanding about, but in discussions with Kevin and Karen and Kevin Tankersley, we kind of changed some orders of business. And I'd like to read the following statement. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Culver Town Council. At this time, I would ask that everyone please silence or turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices so we may conduct the meeting in an orderly manner. Please be advised that this meeting is being broadcast and recorded for public access and publication by the town in accordance with Indiana open door law and local meeting procedures. Your participation in this meeting is your consent to have your statements included in the public record. The council values public participation and input. Citizens will have the opportunity to address the council regarding concerns, questions, comments, or agenda-related matters during the designated public input section. We respectfully ask that your comments be made to the council, be respectful in terms of allotted time, and conducted in a professional and courteous manner. Except for public hearing, audience participation will not be permitted during the remainder of the meeting, so the council may efficiently conduct the business before it. Thank you for your cooperation and your interest in the business of our town, and we will now call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
William Clevenger.
Present.
Joe Day.
Present.
Jeannie Monroe.
Here.
Dina Neer.
Present.
Sally Turner.
Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Public concern utility ordinance violations and appeals. Anyone in the room for any of those items? Public dialogue. This is an opportunity for council to open discussions with public concerning items on the agenda. Unlike the public concern section, these conversations will be within an open format monitored by the president to ensure that no individual dominates the discussion or misdirects away from a specific topic. So anyone in the room for public dialogue? Yes, sir.
John Halford, Tree Commission. I know I'm not on the agenda. If you bear with me just a few minutes. And I'd like to publicly thank Kevin Dante for his persistence regarding the ULI grant project that started in the beginning of 2024, and also his leadership skills with the kids on planting day. They appear to be listening to you, and they have fun. You know, I would also like to publicly thank Dennis Paddocks, who's on the Tree Commission, for his untiring energy and the expertise of this project. He was instrumental in picking species and locations for the 95 plantings, which actually took numerous meetings with the various groups involved. Our estimate for tree planting for Dogwood Hills last year, 17 trees would cost us $530 a piece, which included planting and mulch and travel expenses. We got, with the grant that Kevin pushed, we got 95 plantings. If you multiply that out, the $530 a tree, we saved $47,150 by going with this grant. The Tree Commission kicked in $3,200. And in addition to that, we also have a 3-year warranty on the plantings as far as maintenance, water. So I thought it was just important. I don't know if it's been brought up before, but I thought it was important to let the public know about it. We're usually spending money, we got to save some money. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of minutes of the April 23rd, 2026 regular meeting. Councilors, any additions or corrections to the meeting minutes? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes as prepared.
Motion to approve.
It's been moved by Mr. Neer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Shardy. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day,
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Charity.
Thank you. Old business. We have a bid for services for HydroCorp for meter installation.
Yes, sir. Distributed to council early or late last week. Also introduced it when we opened the bid. The HydroCorp came in at $128,040. Bob and I have subsequently went back and taken a look at how many meters we've installed. We roughly think that we're down to 950-ish and that we've installed since that. And
No, that's what's left. That's
excuse me, what's left. It's been a couple of years. I'm sorry, Bob. You're right. It's what we got left to do, but that's well phrased. And we're thinking that number is going to be closer to 100,000, safely, maybe a little less. This includes the water project that included the software. Jenny, you had a question about that when we did the GEO bond. This is part of that expenditure, and a redevelopment commission commitment that I obtained in July of 2025 will meet a small gap that's created by this, but the funds are there ready to go, and I'd ask that council approve.
Councilors, any questions anyone have before we take a motion on the bid for the HydroCorp meters? If not, I accept a motion to approve.
The meters cost $128,040.
Mr. Neer moves to approve the contract. For a second. Chair seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day,
Aye.
Ms. Monroe,
Aye.
Neer, Mr. Charity.
Aye.
Thank you, council.
Next is the wastewater treatment plant engineering contract. Councilors, anybody have any questions before we move to approve the contract?
No, my questions were answered satisfactorily. And I would make the motion to approve the contract for CHA.
Ms. Monroe moves to approve the contract for CHA. May I have a second? Second by Mr. Sharp. All those in favor, or roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day,
Aye.
Ms. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Charity.
Okay. Excuse me a moment now. Sign this contract.
Is it HydroCorp on a council president also, or is it?
Yeah, I have the contract. I'm sorry, it's sitting. I brought
No, it's okay.
every other document but that one, Bob.
Some I do, some he does.
No.
Make sure.
Sure. Thanks.
Take care of that. City council.
New business. Sewer forgiveness,
Yeah, that's mine. That's my issue.
yes. Counselor, go ahead.
All right, so everybody should have gotten an email late today. If you didn't, you guys here that have a copy of this draft ordinance. And Jenny and Joe, you check your email, you should have a copy of this draft ordinance.
Yep, I got it.
Well, we're not voting on it tonight, but this is just look at this as a initial draft. Although it does take into consideration a lot of discussions we've had. This go back to, my notes said August of last year, we started having conversations about improving the water and sewer forgiveness procedures based off of 2 requests that they'd had back to back, and questions that I raised and other board members raised about how we would implement the policy we had. So anyway, let me just highlight some things in this, and then you guys can take it, read it, and then over the next 2 weeks, we can make some changes if necessary and maybe vote on it in a couple of weeks. So the first part is just citing the Indiana code that gives you the ability to, reiterates that you can have a utility and you're the legislative body and you're in charge of it. About the 5th whereas down there is important to read because it says Indiana Code 8-1.5, 3.53 authorizes an adjustment of an unusually large bill. That's the language that's used in the statute. And I carried that language throughout this ordinance, that usually large bill, because there's other policies that we looked at from other towns that some say excessive bills, some say a big bill. I mean, so I just took the language from the statute. And this whereas is exactly the language from the statute. So an unusually large bill in the excess, if the excess usage is caused by damage to any facility or equipment supplying water to the premises, and the damage was not visible or detectable on the customer's premises, it was not the result of an act of the customer or the customer's agent. In addition, Indiana Code 36-9-23-25 authorizes the legislative body, and I just put in parentheses, town council of Culver, to adopt any provision it considers appropriate, which includes water and sewer bill forgiveness. Now, I put that in there because we had this discussion and there was some confusion over, can we even forgive sewer? Is that allowed by law? And I think the confusion came in because these 2 statutes are both applicable. The 8-1.5, 3.53 specifically addresses water, and it has seems to have these limitations that it has to be damage to the facility or equipment supplying, and it has to be not the customer's fault. It has to not be visible to customer. But then Indiana Code 36-9-23-25, which also applies to your management of all utilities, gives you this catch-all language, which is the last part of that paragraph, that authorizes you basically to do anything you think is appropriate. So I am taking that to be the confusion. I think it clarifies that you can do pretty much whatever you think is reasonable with sewer or water. And but I included the water language anyway, because I think it gives us some nice guidance on what you should probably be looking at in every given case. And then you can kind of skip down to the authority and purpose. That's kind of just, this is Dante's language, I think. The purpose of this section is to provide a basis for town utilities to adjust unusually large bills, water or sewer bills caused by underground leaks and water lines or equipment on users' property that users could not reasonably have known about with normal diligence. And then I added, as approved by Indiana Code, the 2 code sections. And to relieve possible financial hardship or residents and business caused by no fault of their own. Well, some of that language is yours, and some of it. Anyway, the next part, definitions, that's important. And the way I frame this ordinance, I took a lot of different examples and I tried to make it so it was a little easier to read. The first part gives you the Indiana Code. Second part gives you the definitions that are necessary to read the rest of the statute. And I'm not going to read them to you here. You could read those, but it defines what would be an adjustment or forgiveness. What is a customer? And the extraordinary circumstances. I think that's a place to focus. That's paragraph C. Extraordinary circumstances, and these are when are going to be the ones where you're going to consider. Somebody's going to have to cite extraordinary circumstances in order to get forgiveness. And that means an event beyond the reasonable control of the customer that results in excessive water or sewer consumption, including a verified underground or concealed leak, sudden and accidental plumbing failure, confirmed water meter malfunction, other comparable events as determined by the Culver Town Council. So you can see that kind of gives some guidance, but it also is pretty open-ended on the top where it says the word including. So it's not limited to, and paragraph or part 4 that says other comparable events as determined by the town council. So I'm giving you guys, a lot of discretion. And the reason for that is in all of our conversations, there seemed to be a lot of tripping over just kind of, for lack of a better term, just almost made up obstacles. You'll see I took out the time limitations. If somebody, a lot of those had, you can only file once in your lifetime, or you can only ask for it every 24 months. And I just don't see those as reasonable. Why, if it's possible, somebody could have an event like this happen twice in 1 year, in which case, why should you just automatically throw that out? So it's, of course, you could take into consideration if somebody's repeatedly filing, but this gives you kind of broad discretion. So then it goes on and it kind of lays out the next part, eligibility to apply. That was, Kevin and I spent some time talking about this, and I took a lot of his notes. And the key here is that we're going to couple this with a form that isn't quite done yet that I'm going to give to you the next before the next meeting, that encompasses 1 through 7. That just is these are just basic thresholds. I mean, the account was active at the time the unusually large usage occurred. The usage was caused by extraordinary circumstances, which we've already defined. That's the paragraph C we went through above. Only 1 month's usage can be considered. I mean, don't bring us 3 months, say this has been going on for 3 months. No account, the account is not delinquent in payment. You've been paying your bill up till now. You're not paying your bill, we're not going to consider reducing your bill. The underlying cause of the usage was verified by the utility superintendent. And that cause has been repaired. So you're going to put that on your application. You're going to say, here's what we figured out was causing this, and I got it fixed. And Bob or somebody else you guys designate, if he's unavailable, is going to verify that it's been fixed. And then if, and I think Sally, you pointed this out last time, and Jenny maybe, sometimes people can't get these things fixed or get them fixed fast enough. And if you can't do that, then you just sign an affidavit or sworn statement. We'll put that on the form. I can't get this fixed, and here's why, whether it be financial reasons or it's just nobody can figure out what's wrong with it. And then you put that on there. And then the last part is this, that you have to submit this request in writing, and that's for Karen's sanity. She's not taking these requests over the phone or people popping in. Everybody's going to fill out the same form, give the same information. And then there's the next section 4 is the procedure of how it's going to go. And I won't bore you with any more of this. Basically, if section 4 is how the procedure goes, basically, it's going to be reviewed by Karen and Kevin, and they're going to make a determination. If Bob says, yeah, that was clearly, not their fault, and you guys can figure out the day, they can award it. If they deny it, then it's going to go to appeal to the board. And the board can make a determination if they disagree with Karen and Kevin, and then that's it. That's the end of the administrative process. If the board doesn't agree with it, then you're not going to get a forgiveness. Or if the board can't overturn Kevin and Karen, I guess. And then just a lot of that's just lawyer stuff after that. So there you go. Any questions, let me know. Like I said, I left it pretty open. And if you guys want to add more restrictions, we can put them in there anywhere. You'll see when you read it, as far as like, you want more definition to make it clear to you, or you want to add to either the administration of it process or the appeal process, just let me know and we'll add it in there. Okay. All right.
Counselors, anybody have any questions or comments?
Hold on, Kevin.
Yeah.
To digest it. Yeah, sure. Take it home, kick up your feet.
I'll make sure too to send, I think I sent forward to Kevin's email. If I didn't, guys, I'll send
Oh,
that tomorrow.
Spell here. All right.
You did.
Okay, I think Karen did, but thank-
Yeah, one of you did. I got it.
okay, good, Jenny. Good, thank you.
All right. Next item is the tax abatement review, the Paddocks and Sand Hill Farm and Elkay. Karen?
Sure. Sorry. Annually, we have the opportunity to review the situation at Culver Sand Hill Farm and the Paddocks as you've allowed a 10-year tax abatement. I believe we are in year 9 and 7 or 8 of each of them. So, and it was 100% tax abatement. Basically, what you are attesting to is that the property owner is in substantial compliance with what was promised when you issued the tax, when you approved the tax abatement. And this just needs to be done at this time so that I can submit it to the county assessor, what your finding is, and then they can do their work as far as figuring out property taxes. So there would be one for the Paddocks and then one for Sand Hill Farm. And I have not received one yet for Elkay. They be coming in the next week or so. So, and Kevin Berger is here if you have any questions for him on his 2 degrees.
Anyone, counselors, have any questions for Mr. Berger? No. I don't. Mr. Berger, you have anything to add?
No.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Bill, I had a quick question for Kevin Berger. Are they still allowing the 90-day window on when they get an open, for new occupancy to give priority to Marshall County residents?
That was only for the first 90 days. So that part of the agreement has expired.
Oh, I thought that was in perpetuity. Maybe
No.
I'm wrong.
Anything else, Ms. Monroe?
No.
All right, thank you. Next,
I'm
EMS
sorry.
standard.
I'm sorry, pardon me, but there does need to be a motion to approve, or just stating that Mr. Berger is in compliance with both of the abatements and to direct the council president to sign the CF ones.
Okay.
So I would ask for a motion to approve or to find that Mr. Berger, a motion to find that the Paddocks and Culver Sand Hill Farm are both in compliance with the tax abatement and direct the council president to sign each of the CF1 forms.
All right, may I have a motion that Mr. Berger at Sand Hill Farms and the Paddocks is in compliance with the request for tax abatement review. Mr. Neer moves. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Shardy. Roll call, please.
And I'm assuming your motion also includes direct the council president to sign the forms.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Clevenger,
Aye.
Mr. Day,
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe,
Aye.
Mr. Neer. Did you say, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Shardy.
Aye.
Thank you.
Next is the EMS standard operating procedure. Ms. Richards.
Yes, I sent to the council our new standard operating procedures. Mike and I started working on them at the end of last year, so it's taken a little bit of time. I sent them to Mr. Tinkersley. He gave me the approval to pass them along to the council, which I did for you guys to read over. And with your approval, we would like to implement those. This evening, I do have one change that I would like to get council input on. We'll be making some more changes in the future from what you read, since we did start these when Mike was still director. It has his name on them and he's in the chain of command. So once you guys decide on a new director, that will need to be changed. Other things that might need to be changed in the future are our controlled substance policies, because those are completely new for us, and we might have to change things as we see that things are working well or things might not be working, and we have to change those policies. But besides that, I think they're pretty encompassing of what the department already has in place. So the one thing tonight that I want to talk to you about is the request to add duty shorts into the uniform policy. And I felt you guys decide on that instead of me make that decision, because our staff reflects Culver, and I want everyone to be happy with our duty uniforms. There's some pros and cons there. So the pros would be a little bit more comfortable during the summertime. The cons would be, of course, our legs are exposed, but what I'm proposing to add would explain that the staff is aware that we recommend to wear pants. If they want to wear shorts for comfort, that's fine. But if we have certain types of calls where there might be a potential for exposure, that they need to change into duty pants at that time. And the duty shorts are actually made by the same companies that make our duty pants. They're just shorts. A lot of different departments wear them in the summertime. I did check with OSHA to make sure that there was an OSHA standard one way or the other. And according to the research that I found, there's no standard. Each department can decide on their own. So I'm bringing that to you all to discuss and make the recommendation whether we can make that change to our uniform policy or not.
Counselors,
I don't have any strong opinion on how you operate, so if you think it's best, I will go with your opinion.
Thank you.
I know that there's a lot of calls that you go on, it wouldn't matter one way or the other, but you know, like car accidents and somewhere there's sharp metal, debris on the ground that you might kneel into. So sometimes you have to kneel
Sure.
to reach wherever you're.
And that would be one situation
Yeah.
where I would say you need to change into your pants.
Pull some coveralls or whatever on.
We don't have those anymore.
How
This-
much would having to change delay the call, though?
I'm sorry, what was that?
So you have to change, and sometimes time is of importance. That would delay the call, maybe how much or not much at all. I just the question I have on that.
That's a great point. There are times where some of our staff might be working out, they might be in the shower. So there are other times where we might be changing clothes, and this wouldn't be a unique situation. But we do encourage our crews in those instances to make sure that everything is done in a timely manner.
Ms. Monroe,
I've never served in that role or an emergency services role, so I sort of lean toward trusting the experts on that. I imagine it can get really hot when they're also like attending a sporting event. Like I know they've attended football games in the past where they have an ambulance on site and it can get really hot. They've attended Lake Fest and it's blistering hot some Julys for Lake Fest. So I totally understand the request. And I guess I just don't have an opinion though, having not been an EMT or a firefighter or any of those roles, to be honest.
Me, I'd like to interject here just because I think this gives us a nice opportunity to talk about, like, these SOPs were sent to me and I did review them, but I'm not reviewing them looking at the best way to run an EMS. I don't pretend to know how to run an EMS. I certainly don't know as much as the department head. And so I'm looking for big picture items. Is there any kind of discriminatory policy in there? Is there anything where somebody's going to be lack some due process? Is there a way to report a sexual harassment without, jeopardizing the alleged victim's rights? I'm looking for those things. I'm not looking at it and how to best run an EMS. And I appreciate you bringing this to them because you want their input. But when we bleed these things together and the council's giving input on what kind of uniform the EMS should wear, I think you're getting into the weeds unnecessarily, because at the end of the day, the department head serves at your appointment, and you can, if they're doing a bad job, you can remove them. Otherwise, you expect the department head has the expertise to run that department. So I'm just throwing that in there because, although I appreciate she's bringing that to you, because ultimately you guys have oversight over all the departments, I don't know that it's necessary to have that or vote on those types of things. And when you start to do it, you kind of go down a bit of a slippery slope of micromanaging. That's my 2 cents, whatever.
Yeah, the only objection I would have to shorts would be, are we going to end up with more liability with injury to the EMTs?
Sure, that,
That's
of
my
course,
biggest
one of the
concern,
negatives.
because I've been out there, uniform, and it is hot. But
Would there be a standard policy dictating when you have to put, more importantly, when you wear pants? Would you have a standard policy in place in the SOP saying in these incidences,
Yes,
pants will be necessary?
Yes.
So it will be spelled out and
it will be.
and there will
spelled
be an accountability to complying to that, I
Yes.
assume. Okay, thank you. That's from an administrative standpoint. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
So my understanding is that if I want to wear shorts, I have to at the same time bring a pair of long pants.
out. Yes,
Okay.
my opinion is I would try it. If you end up with too many injuries, then say, well, this was a no-go.
okay, yeah, I think that's fair.
That would be my opinion.
You
Just
justice,
as,
sorry, Jen, go ahead.
oh, that's okay. As a side note, I haven't gotten through all the SOPs, to be honest, Lisa. I did start reading them when you emailed us, but I kind of take the same position Kevin does. If the attorney hasn't seen anything in those SOPs that would create a discriminatory practice or something, I'm frankly okay with those the same way I would be with the fire department or police SOPs. So I would authorize to move forward with those, just based on our attorney having had the chance to review them already and not finding any of those sorts of issues with them.
I was the one that kind of recommended that Lisa bring it before the council, given her interim status. That was the only reason. And that way, so that was on me.
Yeah. Totally makes sense though. I appreciate even being asked, to be honest.
No, I'm not saying you shouldn't approve them.
Yeah.
I'm saying overall, I'm just saying like the, shorts for pants debate, maybe
Yeah.
a little needs, but no, you definitely should approve everybody's SOPs just because, those are the rules are being apply to your employees, and ultimately you're responsible to make sure that they are being treated fairly. And I'm sure the department heads are doing their best, but sometimes people make mistakes. So, no, I agree that you should approve them. So I don't want to get it twisted.
Jenny, if that was the motion,
Yeah, I mean, I started to review them and just hadn't completed it, but that was going to be my question, was if Kevin had had a chance to review them for the types of things attorneys tend to see that the rest of us don't always see. And I'm comfortable with his review for the things that I would want to be looking for. Yeah, I guess I could make the motion to approve the SOPs based on the fact that our attorneys had a review period with those.
Mr. Monroe moves to approve the SOPs,
second,
second by Mr. Shardy. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Lanier.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
aye,
Anything else, Ms. Richards?
Yes, please.
All right. Next is the letter of intent between the town of Culver and the Maxinkuckee Performing Arts Foundation.
Yes, sir. Made it familiar, brought it to the council last week. This letter of intent also sent it to Kevin. He was kind enough to look over it. What it is a letter of commitment that honors a vote that was taken by Mr. Cooper, our chief, and the department, committing tentatively 20 foot of the parking lot as discussed during a work session with the Maxinkuckee Performing Arts Theater Foundation. It shows that we are committed to honoring that, as with stipulations that they are going to conduct with a tear down and move forward with the building of a new theater. Contingent upon that, obviously, nothing is official. There is enough language in here that says this is conditional, it is non-binding, it is in compliance with law, and these are good faith negotiations. The final contract obviously needs an appraisal. There's a lot of work to be done before ceding any property over. But this is allowing them, this was by their request, this allows them, and we're hoping that this can help us move forward with the tear down of the theater within the next month. Discussed with council president. I asked for an approval and a signature authorizing our council president to sign this letter of intent to provide to them in good faith and move forward with the tear down.
Councilors, any questions on the,
Only question I have is the value of the land,
To be determined.
but that can be used for grant.
It has been used at a rough appraisal, we used a modest number, so we didn't inflate the number, but that number has been approved in a ready grant.
Ms. Monroe, any questions?
No, sir.
Mr. Day?
No, sir.
All right. Entertain a motion to, I'm gonna amend the motion. That, I will sign the letter of intent when they provide us a date to tear down the theater. Councilors, you have any problems with that?
No.
No.
I'll make the motion to that effect, Bill, of approving the letter of intent pending the organization assigning a date for the tear down.
Mr. Maroon moves to approve the president to sign the letter of intent pending upon the theater to organization provide a date that they're going to tear the theater down. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Neer. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe.
Aye.
Lanier.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
aye,
Thank you.
I would like to just state that this project is going to move forward. And it's been discussed loosely about whether the current zoning on height would be, should be readdressed. And I'm just telling everybody, we're not going to have a discussion about it tonight, but if that's a concern of yours, please take a look at the zoning ordinance and let's have a discussion about height of buildings along the lakefront there before somebody files a application for a building permit under the current zoning law. So,
Very good, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Tankersley, I'm going to appear before the planning commission on Tuesday, seeking their approval that we modify the, amend the zoning.
all right, great. I knew we were talked about it. I wasn't sure where you were at on it. I
No.
wanted to just kind of make sure we all were on the same page.
Is that related to height, Bill?
I'm sorry, Ms.
Is that
Monroe?
related to the height for that commercial zoning?
It's been suggested 28 feet from, Forest Place to State Street.
Okay,
And it goes back as far as the alley.
okay.
Any other questions on or suggestion from council before I appear before the plan commission? Thank you. Department reports. Emergency medical service. This.
Thank you. So the last couple of weeks have gone fairly well with the transition from Mike's retirement into my interim phase. Still learning a lot. The staff has been great. They've been very supportive, very helpful. So I just wanted to let you guys know, some of you know this and some of you may not. We've put on 3 new PRN paramedics. All of them reside within Marshall County. One of them is Paul Mathewson. He's worked for Culver before, so he is back as PRN. He's full-time at Plymouth Fire. The other is Mark Berger. Long time ago, he worked here at Culver part-time. He's recently retired from Memorial and MedFlight. He wants to work just a few days a month. So he is back at Culver also. And then the third paramedic is Adam Bear. He lives in Plymouth, works for Hobart Fire full-time. They're all great. They all want to work. So I have put them all to work. Each of them have at least about 20 years of experience. So we've got some really great paramedics coming to Culver. We've also recently put on 1 new basic EMT. She's a brand new EMT. She took her EMT class between her junior and senior year of high school, wanted to complete high school before she started her career, and she is starting her career with us here at Culver. So you'll be seeing some new faces on our ambulance. We did lose 1 EMT. Well, besides Mike retiring, we did lose 1 EMT. Aaron Dowdle has accepted a position out of state. So he worked his last shift with us and said, if your new job doesn't work out, please come back. So that's kind of our staffing situation. Next week, we're celebrating EMS week, and I shared the schedule with all of you. Please feel free to stop by. It's been posted on our social media page. We want the public to be interactive with us. We have open house time scheduled for them to come in, hear about CPR. If they don't know how to get CPR certified, we have instructors. We'll get them signed up for classes. We're going into the schools one day to talk with the elementary students and the middle school students. Tours of the ambulance, talk to the middle schoolers about careers as first responders and maybe get that little seed growing in their heads. We're going to talk about Stop the Bleed. We're going to talk about stroke with people. So we have a lot of great activities planned for next week. Really in the future, kind of as a summary, we're going to be looking at updating some new equipment. We're looking at some grants to try to cover those funds so that we don't have to use what we have here. there are lots of grant monies available, and I think it's important for us to utilize those if we can. So we're going to update some of our equipment. We're looking at having an EMT class. Hopefully at the end of summer, we'll be getting that scheduled. We have at our department 3 EMT instructors. So between the 3 of us, we can get that set up. Keeping operations running smoothly. And I'm continuing to learn the billing process, which is pretty tedious, but I will get the hang of it soon. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
Chief Cooper.
Yeah, I emailed you all a comprehensive report late this afternoon. Trying to just keep up with that monthly for you to review at your leisure. The only things I want to bring attention to, the county is going to be changing how they test tornado sirens. Right now, they do like a 3 to 5 second growl, they call it, every Tuesday. They're going to change that to a 30-second full test, essentially. So we may get some questions coming in and people wondering why. And they're looking at Tuesdays at 11. Every Tuesday at 11, all the tornado sirens will ramp up to 30 seconds. It's a way to just keep better track of those and let people know if something in their community is not working.
See, that's the old days, right? Back to the old days.
Just to be aware of that. And then I threw out another date, May 27th. I'd still like to get you all down to the station to look at the equipment, look at the station, have a little work session and just kind of talk through things. If that doesn't work out, let me know. Look further down the road. Evening of the 27th was what I'd suggest.
Time again,
Sorry.
what time again is that?
6:30? I mean, I'm flexible anytime, 5 to 7.
Anything else?
Sorry, Seth.
Yeah, anything else?
Nope, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Chief Becker.
Thank you, counselors. I did put our April reports in your mailboxes. Hopefully you grabbed them. If not, they're in there. Nothing really remarkable in terms of those. At the last meeting, I told you that the week of April the 20th through the 24th, I would be at the Law Enforcement Academy attending the Police Chief Executive Training Program. So I went down to that, spent the week down there. We had very full days every day. There was 32 of us in the class. Most were newly appointed chiefs. A couple assistant chiefs were in there. And just a couple of things. I mean, we talked, they usually do hour or 2 blocks. So we'll bring in a new presenter and give us new information. So a couple of the things that were highlighted. Counting and budgets. They talked about departments with chaplaincy programs. Another presenter was about media relations. We talked about general orders, SOPs, crisis intervention, a lot of community engagements, recruiting and retentions. Legal counsel came in and talked about legal issues, particular police disciplinary actions, interpersonal communications. They brought in a chiefs panel. 4 chiefs from different various size agencies were there, and it was opened up for a few hours, just open discussions that we could. They talked up a lot about fitness and wellness, taking care of yourselves, taking care of your personnel. Small things matter. So there was a lot. It was very, very educational. Did a lot of really good networking. We had departments this size of, I think 3 was the smallest to Indy Metro's. New chief was there. I think they mentioned 1,500 employees. So all the way from the north state line to the south state line. So very good training, did some really good networking, reached out, got some good contacts for future references as well. So that went very well. Lisa had talked about next week is EMS week. This current week that we are in is National Police Week. Specifically tomorrow is May 15th of every year is National Peace Officers Memorial Day. It was established in 1962. It's a day for all of us to remember and honor all of our federal, state, and local peace officers who've been killed or disabled in the line of duty. Some of you may not know, but locally, the Colorado Police Department had an officer that was killed in the line of duty. So back on July 19th of 1932, Marshal Edward Cook, according to the Officer Down Memorial page, he was 5-year tour with the Culver Police Department, 50 years old. And so this year will be 94 years, and I think it's important that that's what all of this National Police Week and National Police Officers Memorial Day is to remember those who've gone before us and not forget them. So even though we are 94 years later, I still want to bring that up. But those of you that do not know that, there was a business across the street from the town park, and Marshall Cook was assisting with repairing a tire, mostly assisting a motorist with repairing a tire. His revolver fell out of his holster. Some of the stories that I read, they were carrying maybe a shoulder holster at the time. So it fell out, hit the ground and discharged, and he died in the line of duty. His name has been carved in the wall in Washington, DC at the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial there in Washington, DC. And a few years ago, I went out there and looked up and was able to get his name off of the wall, which is in my office. So again, bring that up. It's important that we don't forget all these years later. And we're just preparing for the upcoming busy weekends for May. We're getting ready to go into Alumni Weekend. The following weekend, of course, is Memorial Day weekend. The following last weekend of the month for us will be the Academy's graduation weekend. So I have reached out to our partners with the state police, conservation officer, and the sheriff's department, and provided those folks with those days and asked for some assistance for some extra patrols on those weekends as well. That is all I have, unless you have anything further. Hopefully, Ms. Monroe and Mr. Day can hear that.
Absolutely.
Yep, heard it.
Anything else?
I don't have anything further, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mark,
So unlike Lisa having an overabundance of people who want to work for her, I do not right now. And it's, so for Memorial Day weekend, we have it covered, but we're having a problem with the fact that the school is not done until the 28th. The academy is not done until their move out date is the 31st, and no one's allowed to work until the 1st. We have a few seniors from the community who are on our staff who would much rather enjoy their graduation weekend than be at work on the 30th and 31st. So we are covered for Memorial Day, but the following weekend, we may go down to a smaller shift. We will be closed so we'll be open Memorial Day weekend and Monday, and then we'll be closed again from Tuesday through Friday. We'll reopen on the 30th with a very short staff. We may end up putting the swimming around risk signs out for some breaks and things like that. And then I don't know if it's going to be in the future that we're not opening until the first week of June now, or how we'll do that. I mean, I feel like it's a loss of revenue. But if we don't have any of the kids out of school, then I don't really know how to fix that problem. So just so you know, if anybody says anything about the beach not being open, I'm thinking maybe even having the concession stands open and just swimming your own risk so that at least the bathrooms are open and they can get some snacks and things like that. And I do have those people who are able to work. A problem with lifeguards at the moment. And then I also have Andy Zahner gave us a quote for $5,200 for the sand to bring it in, level it out. We had a lot of more rain than we've had in years. We have some really big dips in the sand. We added to that quote. Bob, how much did you?
1,500 is what he told me.
An extra 1,500 to the 5,200. We'll need to add, what is it called? We're shoving underneath the sidewalk?
Rip wrap, basically
Rip
2
wrap.
mil or,
Because there was so much water, all of the rock has come out from underneath the sidewalk in that area. And so we need to repair underneath there before they do the sand. So asking that we can, when Andy gives us the final quote, I guess.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get that done. We also received a quote for $10,708.62 for the window repairs. that will repair the 3 windows upstairs that are leaking, as well as the one in the conference room that has been ruined from the leakage. And then in the basement, we also have 2 windows that on the outside, the strip doesn't go all the way to the edge of the windows. So therefore, the water's been coming in and is also ruining the walls. So we'll repair 3 windows upstairs, 1 in the conference room, and 2 in the basement. Asking for approval of that.
You're asking for approval of the windows and also the sand.
I would,
The sand will wait for.
actually, if I may,
Yeah, absolutely.
if I can have council's approval not to exceed $8,000 and report back in when I get the quote from Andy at the next meeting. But the work needs to
So
be
we can
done.
get it done before we open.
If I may have that motion.
I would make that motion, Kevin.
Ms. Monroe moves to approve an expenditure not to exceed $8,000.
Will be for the, both together, 10,000?
So
Sorry.
that's for the
sand.
sand and the fix of the sidewalk.
And then we will deal with the second one separately. Yep.
Okay. Second.
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Shardy. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe.
Aye.
Mr. Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
Aye.
Thank you, council. That will help us get that done and out of the way before season. And then you can,
And then also for the windows, for the $10,708.62.
I'll make a motion to approve the $10,708 for the window repairs.
Mr. Neer moves to approve the
62 cents.
repair of the windows in the amount of $10,000.
708.62.
All right. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Shardy. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
Aye.
And then I also have, asking for your permission to take the west side of the fence that runs along the beach, the part that comes out this way, if we can remove that. Eventually, we would like to maybe remove all of it and replace it with something shorter, but right now, apparently when that was put in, it should have been maintained with grease in the hinges. And last fall, when we put the grease in the hinges to get the one in front of the concession stand to work, it works. But when we did the same thing at the end, the gate fell off. So instead of repairing that, it's rusted, it looks horrible, and we would like to just remove that end if that's okay with all of you.
The motion.
It's really not,
They would just-
it's really not keeping anybody out. I mean, it doesn't go all the way to the water, and we walk the beach anyway. People already go around it. So we either have a lifeguard or one of the management walk the beach and remind people to get wristbands anyway. So it's really not gonna be any different.
Have a motion to remove the gate.
Make a motion to remove the west gate.
Mr. Neer moves to remove the rusted gate. Second. Fair seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe.
Aye.
Mrs. Neer. Mr. Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
Yes, aye.
Anything else?
Is it the west gate or east?
What? It would be the gate that runs along the beach, but the end of it that goes out like towards.
so you got the fencing on that keeps the beach lodge coming back to the west, that fencing that runs along the sidewalk. Then there's a little vertical piece that goes north-south perpendicular to the water. Yeah, down by the lighthouse. That thing's busted up, damaged, and it's ready to come out. Yep.
And I also had somebody reach out to me about a memorial bench. And we have a lot of benches through the park. We were kind of, we don't need any more inside of the park, but there are no benches from the beach lodge all the way out to the new, through the new section and everything. And I was asking Kevin about possibly getting one put at the start of the new section, but I know that it's possibly not all of our property. I don't know exactly how all that works, but I know there was definitely permission that needed to be sought after for that.
I think we have a 25-foot trail easement through there. The pavement's only 10, so.
What we have is a 25-foot trail easement with the language is that any non-permanent structure that could be removed in the case that easement would ever be revoked. I would count that the bench would fall under that category. They're easily removed. We proved on Main Street, so I don't think there's any issue with it, but location wise.
It'll be all right then.
I think so. I was gonna make sure the council, and I wanted their opinion. I don't think it requires a vote unless council disagrees. But for that location with,
Huh. It might make it look nice too, you know?
And even at the conference, there was a vendor that had benches that had like lights on it or whatever. I don't know what the lighting situation is down there, but I don't know if somebody wants to donate something that's like that. I think that having something down there would be a really good addition.
What about a drinking fountain too?
That as well.
I have,
Oh, then yeah, a bench and a drinking fountain. That's,
but you have to
Exactly.
place the bench on the west side, so I have water. We can get together.
we'd like to pretty that place up is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's all. That's all.
All right, thank you. Mr. Porter.
I have a couple action items for you and a couple updates. Our water pump on our Vector truck is needing rebuilt. And I have a quote from Vector, Joe Johnson Equipment, which does our Vector repairs for $14,179 to have it rebuilt. Seeking approval for that expense.
Do you use that company for back repair for?
Yes,
number
for a
of years?
while. Vector, it used to be through Weir's, then it went to Cat. Now it's through Joe Johnson. So I've been following the Vector mechanics through their company. So we've had good success with this company.
I'll make the motion to approve the expenditures of $14,179 to repair the pump on the Vector truck. You have a second?
I'll second your motion.
Ms. Monroe seconds the motion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Amir.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
The second thank you. The second action item I have is we have Cummings Sales and Service out of Mishawaka come down and service our generators at all the lift stations and water plant and sewer plant. The price for them to come in spring and fall to service those 5 generators is $3,559.13. One of those will come out of water, the rest will come out of sewer.
I'll make the motion to approve that expenditure.
I'll second.
Mr. Shardy moves to approve the expenditure for service to the generators. Second,
Jenny seconded.
Ms. Monroe seconds. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Amir.
Aye.
And Mr. Chardy.
Aye.
Hey, Bob, just an FYI that Cummins is coming to town, I believe, next Tuesday
They were
for
pushing,
a repair on the southwest or east shore district.
they were pushing on me to do it all in the same day, but I had to get council approval first.
Yeah, I thought that might help them keep prices lower for everyone. So that's a good price actually. So
We'll call them in the morning, see if they'll piggyback on this.
I'd like to give you an update on the water plant project. It's almost done. They put the aerator in today. They're gonna work on plumbing it in tomorrow. Hopefully come Monday. For a complete project other than mopping up. Then I can get my hydrants flushed. A few weeks after that. I didn't want to flush hydrants in the middle of. The meter software upgrade for reading. All the equipment is mounted to the towers. We're just waiting on internet service on one of them. That service, that reading software will go live, so that's close as well. That's all I have, unless you have more
Where are
questions.
your towers?
Water towers.
Oh, on the water
Yeah,
tower.
there's one on each, there's one set of hardware on each tower that talks to the cloud, and Julie can read every 5 minutes if she so desires.
Nothing to do.
Town manager report, Mr. Dante.
Yeah, I got upstaged. All right, well, the first action item is, I would ask the council to approve our council president, William Clevenger, authorize his signature to make himself our Marshall County Unsafe Building Premises Board. They called me, they sent me the document, and Mr. Clevenger served last year. We'd like him to serve again this year with council's approval.
I have a motion, please.
I got motion.
Mr. Neer moves to allow me to serve on the unsafe building.
Second,
Second by Mr. Monroe. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe.
aye.
Near. Mr. Charney.
Thank you.
Thank you for your signature, and I'll appreciate it. Buggy Bash, we had a request to have ATVs come to town during the weekend of the 30th, I believe, right in there. Date actually escapes me. Council asked me to do a little bit of clarifying. So what the ATVs will be marked with a ribbon that will be coming to town. They will be starting at Swan Lake. I was told that they will be here starting around 11 o'clock to 12:30. They're going to enter the town from the north end, staying away from our main traffic during that weekend of Memorial Day weekend. So it's not the 30th, I'm sorry. On Memorial Day weekend, they'll come in from the north on Tamarack. They're going to park in the area near the water tower or available parking. They're going to do a selfie picture at a designated business. They may frequent a business, grab a sandwich, fill up with some gas. They'll go down to Main Street. I think there's a picture there. I'm not quite sure. They're going to exit town, leaving south, and they will be out of town, and they will cut back to the east, heading towards Argus, kind of taking the long way. Advisable, they showed me the route. I advised them on that route simply because we have Academy traffic. We're going to have Memorial Day traffic. I want them out of town. That's the easiest way to get them out of town and the less conflictual. And they were more than happy to do that. They say that there may be a few stragglers that stay behind, but it should be done and over with in an hour and a half. The ATVs will be marked with a, you believe they said yellow ribbon, pink ribbon, one of those, you'll see a ribbon. And I have the details for you. But apart from that, that's where the details are. Unless council has any problem, I'll call them tomorrow with your permission and allow them to come to town.
How many of them are there?
There's going to be, I was told, Jenny, that there's 50 to 70. So they also said divide that probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 to maybe 55 vehicles is what I was told. But they didn't have exact numbers for me, but that's what the estimates were. That was their last ride. Yeah, did the Sturgis rally? No, not quite. So I'll go ahead and give them a call tomorrow, allow them to come to town. We like that, good publicity, all that good stuff.
Memorial weekend rather than Brad weekend.
Yeah. So we'll
Brad
get them.
weekend.
Yeah. Some updates for you. IMMA conference over in Fort Wayne, met with some other town managers. There's therapy in it. I didn't have as much fun as Chad at his outing, but they were nonetheless informative. A lot on HB 1001. Interesting that the Department of Local Government Finance has a point system in which they're going to assess township viability. And it's interesting to see what that looks like. It's suggested that if a township does dissolve, that the local jurisdiction, municipality with the jurisdiction will take over, not the county, which I found interesting. That's still up in the air a bit. There could be a consolidation of townships. It's still being ironed out. But one of the things that I asked directly was that since we have a shared ambulance service and fire department with Union Township, what would that look like if Union Township were to dissolve? And I'm not saying they are. And they would say that definitely that point system would give preference to town of Culver because we do have a shared relationship with them already. So found that interesting. It sounds like to me there's not going to be any movement for another year, but they're starting to move. And I think that the first townships that are going to be impacted are around the donut in Indy, the ones that have been already consumed by larger expansions of places like Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, that now they're obsolete in a sense. And that was what I got. Other than some good things from MnDOT, and it was good, some good ethical material. A lawyer talking ethics, it was good. Is that accurate? Want to send a reminder that, or an appreciation, I should say, to the departments and the level of communication that I've had through emails and through pop-ins, coming in the office, sitting and talking. It's been productive. Half the time I look at them and say, let's figure it out, because I don't know, but it's been good for me. And I appreciate everybody on the department head level. Thank you. Joe Fox from the library contacted me, America's 250th. Plymouth was going to do a parade, talked to Listenberger this morning. That may not be going off the way that they think. They haven't got the kind of the sponsorship or the membership interest, if you will, in it right now, but they want to do something. Said we could definitely contribute on our level. Karen and I were speaking, and obviously 4th of July is not good timing for us given the amount of volume that we have in terms of people and traffic. We were thinking, though, sometime in July, maybe having a declaration reading. I know the library is also interested, and they're planning some things. I want to coordinate with Joe a little bit more and see if we can maybe even make it a 2-week thing where we're doing some celebration, some events, and get some vendors, some food, something, have some park picnics, whatever. But I think that it is an occasion to celebrate, and any suggestions council might have, I'd be happy to see them. Last thing is an order of business. I have 3 special permits tonight for approval, if I may. The first is one that you're familiar with. I brought to your attention. I've worked with Chad. I want to thank Chad for his work on this. It's the Papa's anniversary, 50th anniversary, expecting 300 person plus. Papa's parking lot. They did submit a new map. Chad has coordinated that map to be effective, even to be so thoughtful as to have the music project out towards the lake instead of back to the north to the neighborhoods. It should be wrapped up by 10:30, 11 o'clock. I'm already in bed, so I don't care. City lot, streets, Chad has approved. It is tentative on the alcohol because since it's being served, Chad was diligent, took a look. They're going to need a permit from the state. That should be no issue given the licensing already there. But I would say that that is pending, but we expect it to come in. I'd ask council to approve and really appreciate Papa's existence for the last 50 years. My waistline doesn't, but nonetheless, if I could have an approval for that special permit, please.
Can you approve that special permit for Papa's?
Mr. Neer moves to approve the special permit for Papa's.
A second.
Second by Mr. Monroe. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Here.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
Aye.
Thank you, council. The last 2 that I have, St. Mary's of the Lake, the Catholics are marching. So I got 5/17/26 at 12 o'clock noon, 100 people in the Marian processional. It is starting at St. Mary's. It will follow its normal route. They do not have any closure necessary. The parishioners will tend to the trash in terms of they have 2 volunteer firemen and AMT parishioners on staff. There's no alcohol good thing. No sound equipment necessary, and I do need the applicant's signature on this, but I'll obtain that. But apart from that, I have department approvals and everything's ready to go. I ask for approval.
So moved.
Been moved by Mr. Shardy. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'll,
I'm sorry, is that Mr. Day?
Yes.
Day? Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
aye.
Monroe.
Aye.
Grenier.
Aye.
Mr. Shardy.
All right, thank you. Last one, 5/24/26, 6 PM, the Pentecost party, 100 people expected, St. Mary of the Lakes again. This is going to be closed down, so we will have a street closure immediately behind the Catholic Church on Lewis between North Plymouth and School Street. There is no alcohol served, and off-duty EMT will be there as well. But not needed. No sound equipment, no alcohol involved. I asked for council approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Shardy moves to approve the petition by St. Mary's Church.
Second.
I'll second.
Mr. Dare. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Mr. Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Shardy.
That's all I have for council tonight. Thank you very much.
Piggyback on yours. It's maybe a question for Mr. Tankersley on your buggy bash.
Yes, sir.
Do we need to have a motion on that by council to allow that temporary 1 day to come through since we have an ordinance regarding the use of ATVs? We need to have a motion because they're not.
Mr. ATV ordinance that says, is it, are you, the town has its own, it's not the, okay.
They're required to be registered with the town, so all these are not gonna be required, or all these are not gonna be registered, so maybe the motion needs to.
Thank you for the catch.
Yeah, I guess to cover your department, you should ask for to approve a 1 day exemption for all ATVs on that day.
That are marked with the.
Yeah.
If I could have that motion to allow a 1 day exemption, they will be registered with the state, but not with the town of Culver, designated by a ribbon for the 1 day exemption.
I'll make that motion.
Mr. Monroe moves. Second, please.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Ms. Monroe.
Aye.
Neer.
Aye.
Mr. Shardy.
Aye. It pays some money for your department.
No under, thanks, guys, we can't charge for those, so we were just discussing that.
Now, I
We don't
did,
charge for those anyway.
I do want to specify, it will be a ribbon. I'll get the color for you, Chad. I got it in my office.
No.
I won't. It'll be a secret. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Anything else?
No, sir, I'm done. Thank you.
Ms. Heim, your report.
Is that a roll call? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I just have one claim over 2,500 for approval. I believe it was approved previously, but just want to make sure. It's for Firecat LLC, and that was for host testing for $3,030. I also, before you make a motion, I just want to call your attention to a couple of other claims over 2,500 that I am paying that are under contract. Ballyquet Brothers, $44,134. That was for the spring A and B Pierce installation. They still have C to finish up, and we'll pay them once we're invoiced. And some of that also was for the sockets replacement. Core and Main, $3,181 for meters. Michiana Contracting, $19,178.30 for Lakeshore Drive lighting. And then 2 for Peerless Midwest, and that's the water plant improvement project. One for $48,000 and the other one for $137,000. So I just have a motion to approve the claims over 25.
So moved.
Mr. Monroe,
Second.
second by Mr. Shardy. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe.
Aye.
Grenier.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
Aye.
The other thing, I just have two other things. One, last meeting, I provided a preliminary schedule for the budget season that we're heading into sooner than I'd like. But I just wanted to remind you, if you have any changes or there are some reports that you want to see, please let me know as soon as possible, because by the end of June, I have to start filing reports, putting things together. So if you could just let me know if there's any change you want to see, any other information you want to see. I will say that I am working on a spreadsheet that I shared with Kevin. It's kind of cool. It's a Google spreadsheet, which I'll update on a monthly basis, and all the counselors will have access to it, as well as the department heads. So you'll be able to look in and see what expenses we've had, not at a micro level. I mean, you're not going to be able to see that we paid $3,003 to FireCat, not that, but more of categorically how much has been spent, and then also the income streams. I've done that for basically the departments that are covered under the general fund, the park department, and then water and sewer. So I will get a link out to you in probably another week or so, but you'll be able to just go in at your leisure and take a look at that. The other thing is, I just want to let you know that the SLFRF report was submitted on a timely manner. The funds are expended, and there will be one more closing report, and we're done with that. So that's all I have.
She said she had a cool spreadsheet.
I do have a
She's a spreadsheet master.
Okay. That's spreadsheet goes. It's not your average spreadsheet.
Yeah, it's,
I do have. So you got an app for that. I was pushing for that.
Anything else for tonight?
That's all I have.
Council issues. Mr. Mayor.
Just thank you again to all our department heads. You do a tremendous job. Appreciate all of you. It's so encouraging to see the boats and the piers back in the water.
Mr. Ferry.
I don't have anything other than glad to we have the department heads we do.
Chris Monroe.
I just wanted to give Bobby Cooper a heads up if he's still there. The Southwest Conservancy District is kind of looking into fire hydrants, and I know they've probably talked with you before. They're just getting some information. Apparently, there's one being placed on a private property on the east side, or at least there's someone trying to accomplish that on the east side. So they're starting to really think about fire safety on the lake after some of the fires that have occurred at these houses. So just really wanted to give him a heads up, and then look into whether or not, I know the county was offering some emergency services grants. Do you think those were just municipality related, Kevin, or do you know if they would apply to township?
I think, Jenny, that they're going to be just municipality and pretty restricted to fire safety,
Fire.
like, yeah. So we
Okay.
have a list for this year. We're going to actually, Bobby and I are going to head up there next month. And
Okay.
for it. So
Yeah, I just wondered, for the sake of this talk about the lake protection, etc.
it'll be a conversation though in the future.
Yeah. Otherwise, I just wanted to give Bobby a heads up about that. And happy Police Week and happy EMS Week. Really appreciate our emergency services responders who always make me feel safer in the community anyway. So I hope everyone also shows appreciation for those departments as those national celebrations occur. And yes to whatever we need to do for the 250th celebration, Kevin, however we can support that, I think would be great.
Very nice. Mr. Day.
I don't have anything tonight.
Chair has nothing. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. To move. Moved by Mr. Mayor. Second by Mr. Charlie. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clevenger.
Aye.
Mr. Day.
Aye.
Mrs. Monroe.
Aye.
Mr. Mayor.
Aye.
Mr. Chardy.
Aye.
Bye, guys. Have a good evening.
Question.
Thank you, guys.
Those under.
Reading the declarations.
I love that. The big top hat with the tail.
Tail.
Bob,
You
thank
guys
you.
later.
I've got it. Don't kid yourself. I've got the legs.